Welcome to Sleep, a place where every gentle sound guides you toward peace, and every moment helps you drift into deep, restful sleep. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight. Good evening, dear listener. Settle in now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Wherever you are, notice the surface beneath you, steady and supportive. Feel the air resting gently on your skin. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. This is your time to rest. As my voice moves slowly through your thoughts, you can allow your breathing to become easy and unforced. Inhale through your nose, calm and quiet. Exhale through your mouth, long and smooth. With every breath out, imagine the day loosening its grip on you. Picture the room around you growing a little dimmer, a little quieter. Perhaps there's a faint sound in the background, a fan humming softly, or distant night sounds beyond a window. Let those sounds blend with my voice. Let them remind you that the world continues gently while you rest. Your eyelids may feel heavy now, and that is perfectly fine. You do not need to fight sleep. You can simply drift toward it, the way a leaf drifts on still water. Our story today begins at the edge of evening, at that peaceful moment when the sun lowers itself toward rest. It sets sail in a place known as the kingdom that slept early. This kingdom was unlike any other. While most lands rushed and glowed late into the night, this one listened closely to the rhythm of nature. When the sky warmed with gold and rose, the people slowed. When shadows lengthened and birds quieted, the kingdom exhaled as one. In this land, sunset was not an ending, but an invitation. Bells did not ring sharply. Instead, soft chimes, whispered from towers and treetops, carried on gentle breezes. The sound reminded everyone that it was time to rest, time to be kind to their bodies and minds. Shops closed with smiles. Doors were shut with care. Candles were lit, not for brightness, but for comfort. As you imagine this kingdom, let the scene unfold slowly. Cobblestone streets glow faintly with the last light of day. Window boxes overflow with lavender and jasmine, releasing calm scents into the air. Somewhere nearby, a hearth crackles quietly, its warmth spreading through stone walls and into waiting hands. Every sound is muted, as if the world itself is speaking in a whisper. The people of the kingdom believed that kindness grew best in well-rested hearts, so they honored sleep as something sacred. Children were tucked in early, wrapped in quilts sewn with simple patterns of moons and stars. Elders sat in rocking chairs, sharing soft stories that wandered and never rushed toward an ending. Even the animals seemed to know. Cats curled into warm corners. Birds tucked their heads beneath their wings before darkness fully arrived. Take a slow breath now, dear listener, and imagine yourself there. You are safe. You are welcome. You belong in this gentle place. Feel the stone path beneath your feet, cool and smooth. Feel the air brushing your cheeks, carrying the promise of night. At the center of the kingdom stood a low hill crowned with an ancient tree. Its branches stretched wide, leaves rustling like a lullaby. This tree was older than memory, and it was said to listen to the dreams of the people as they slept. No one climbed it, no one cut it. They simply rested beneath it when they needed comfort. As the sun dipped lower, lanterns were lit along the paths. Their glow was soft, never harsh. Light pooled gently on the ground, guiding tired footsteps home. The sky deepened into shades of violet and blue, and the first stars appeared, blinking slowly as if waking from naps of their own. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm, too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. And as you settle deeper, let us return to the kingdom that slept early. In a small cottage near the hill lived the keeper of sunset. This was not a grand title, and it came with no crown or riches. The keeper's task was simple and meaningful. Each evening, they walked the paths of the kingdom, ensuring that everything was ready for rest. Windows are gently covered, fires safely banked, hearts at ease. The keeper moved slowly, never in a hurry. Their footsteps matched the pace of the fading light. They greeted neighbors with quiet nods and warm smiles, exchanging no words, for words were not needed. Understanding flowed easily here. As you imagine the keeper walking, allow your own thoughts to slow with them. There is no rush. Each step is unhurried. Each breath is calm. The keeper carried a small lantern, its flame steady and low, like a heartbeat at rest. Nearby, a stream murmured softly, water gliding over smooth stones. The sound was rhythmic and soothing, like breathing made audible. Frogs settled into the reeds. Crickets began their gentle song, not loud or sharp, but steady and reassuring. The keeper paused at the ancient tree, placing a hand against its bark. The tree felt warm, alive with quiet wisdom. For a moment, the keeper stood still, listening. Perhaps the tree was listening too. Perhaps it was sharing a dream. Dear listener, if your mind begins to wander, that is all right. Let it wander. Let it drift back whenever it chooses. My voice will be here, steady and calm, guiding you gently onward. The moon rose slowly over the kingdom, casting silver light across rooftops and fields. Shadows softened, edges blurred. The world grew rounder, kinder, more forgiving. In this light, worries seemed smaller, less important. Soon, the keeper turned toward home, their task complete. The kingdom was ready to sleep, and as one by one lights dimmed and breaths deepened, a feeling of peace settled over everything, like a warm blanket. As this feeling spreads through the kingdom, let it spread through you as well. From the top of your head, down your neck and shoulders, through your chest and arms, all the way to your fingertips, down your back, your hips, your legs, to the tips of your toes, heavy, relaxed, at ease. The kingdom that slept early rested now, and in its rest it grew gentle dreams, dreams of kindness, dreams of joy, dreams of waking to a new day with light hearts. As night deepened, the kingdom that slept early seemed to breathe more slowly. The air cooled just enough to invite blankets closer. Curtains stirred in open windows, lifting and falling in a gentle rhythm. Inside the cottages, families had already settled into stillness. The quiet was not empty, it was full, full of safety, full of trust, full of the knowledge that rest was allowed here. In one small home near the stream, a child lay listening to the water outside. Each ripple sounded like a soft word spoken just for them. The child did not try to understand the words. There was no need. The meaning was comfort itself. With every sound, their breathing slowed. With every breath, sleep drew nearer. Imagine that sound now, dear listener, the steady flow of water, the promise that nothing needs your attention. Let it carry away the leftover thoughts of the day. Let them drift downstream, growing quieter and smaller until they disappear around a bend. Beyond the cottages, fields stretched out beneath the moonlight. Tall grasses swayed gently, brushing against one another with a whispering hush. Fireflies blinked lazily, their tiny lights rising and falling like drifting thoughts. Even they knew not to hurry. There was enough time for everything tomorrow. At the far edge of the fields stood the kingdom's windmill. Its blades were still now, resting after a day of slow, steady turning. The miller believed that machines, like people, worked best when given proper rest. So each evening the windmill slept too, its wooden frame creaking softly as it cooled. The night watch had already made their rounds. There were no alarms to sound, no dangers to chase away. Their role was mostly ceremonial, a quiet reassurance that someone was awake so everyone else could sleep. They walked with padded steps, lanterns turned low, careful not to disturb the peace they protected. If you notice your eyelids fluttering, allow them to close. If they open again, that is fine. There is no right or wrong way to listen to this story. You can hear it with your ears, or you can hear it with your dreams. High above the kingdom, clouds drifted slowly across the stars. They moved without effort, guided by invisible currents. Watching them, one could forget time entirely. Minutes stretched and softened. Hours felt like moments. Night unfolded not in pieces, but as one long, continuous breath. The keeper of sunset had reached their cottage now. They placed the lantern by the door and stepped inside. The warmth wrapped around them at once. A simple meal waited, prepared earlier in the day. Nothing heavy, nothing rushed, just enough to nourish, to comfort. After eating, the keeper sat by the hearth. The fire glowed low, embers pulsing with quiet light. The sound of soft crackling filled the room, steady and predictable. It was the kind of sound that told the body it was safe to let go. As the keeper rested, they thought of the kingdom, not with worry, but with affection. They trusted it to sleep. They trusted the morning to arrive when it was ready. You might notice a similar trust growing inside you now. Trust in your body to rest. Trust in your mind to slow down. Trust that sleep knows how to find you without effort. Outside, the ancient tree on the hill swayed slightly, leaves brushing against one another. If you listen closely in your imagination, you might hear it, a sound like pages turning, like a story being told very slowly. Some said the tree dreamed of everyone at once, weaving their hopes and worries into something soft and manageable. As the night continued, dreams began to bloom across the kingdom. Not sharp or vivid dreams, but gentle ones. Dreams of walking familiar paths, of sitting in warm kitchens, of laughter heard from another room. These dreams did not demand attention. They simply existed, like background music for the soul. In one home, an elder slept with a smile, remembering a kindness from long ago. In another, a baker dreamed of dough rising perfectly by morning. In a third, a traveler rested deeply, knowing they had found a place where rest was honored. Let yourself be part of this tapestry of dreams. You do not need to choose a dream. One will choose you, or perhaps there will be no images at all, just a sense of floating, of being held. Your breathing may be very slow now. That is good. Your body knows this rhythm well, practiced it long before today. Every cell is familiar with rest. The moon climbed higher, then began its gradual descent. Time moved, but no one noticed. The kingdom that slept early did not measure night by hours, but by depth of rest. And tonight, the rest was deep. In the quietest part of the night, when even the crickets paused between songs, the ancient tree released a sigh, a sound too low to hear, but strong enough to be felt. It was a blessing of sorts, given freely to all who slept beneath the same sky. If you feel a wave of heaviness now, let it wash over you. If you feel light, let yourself float. Either way is perfect. Sleep is not a destination you must reach. It is something that arrives when you stop trying. The keeper slept now too, dreams folding gently into one another. The lantern by the door was dark. The hearth had settled into glowing coals. The cottage, like the rest of the kingdom, was still, and so the night held everything together. Fields, homes, hearts, breath by breath. As the night stretched on, the stillness of the kingdom that slept early grew even softer, as if the darkness itself were padded with velvet. Nothing interrupted the calm. Even thoughts seemed to move more slowly here, drifting like clouds that had forgotten where they were going. Somewhere near the edge of the village, a small clock chimed once, then fell silent again. It was not marking time in any strict way. It simply liked to remind the night that it was present. After the chime faded, the quiet returned, deeper than before. The stream continued its endless journey, though it seemed to slow, out of respect for the sleeping world. Its surface reflected the moon in broken pieces, silver light trembling gently with every movement. If you imagine yourself standing there, you might feel cool grass beneath your feet, damp with night air. You might hear your own breath blending with the sound of water, until it is hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Dear listener, if your thoughts drift toward memories or plans, let them pass without engagement. You do not need to solve anything tonight. There will be time for that later. Right now, you are allowed to rest. In the heart of the kingdom, the hill and its ancient tree stood watch. The tree's roots reached deep into the earth, holding stories older than words. It remembered the first sunset, the first night of rest. It remembered when people learned that sleep was not something to postpone, but something to welcome. On certain nights, like this one, the tree shared its memories with the land, not in pictures or sounds, but in feelings. A sense of belonging, a quiet assurance that everything was unfolding as it should. Those feelings moved through the soil, into the stones of the cottages, into the wooden beams and warm hearths. They settled into the bodies of the sleeping people, smoothing sharp edges, easing long-held tension. You might feel that easing now, perhaps on your shoulders, perhaps behind your eyes, perhaps somewhere you did not realize was holding tight. Let it soften, let it melt. The wind passed through the kingdom again, lighter this time. It brushed against rooftops and treetops, carrying the scent of night flowers. The flowers opened only in darkness, trusting that they would not be rushed or disturbed. Their fragrance was subtle, meant for those who noticed quietly. In one cottage, a pair of siblings slept in the same room, breaths rising and falling out of sync, but in harmony. In another, a solitary dreamer lay sprawled across a wide bed, limbs relaxed, face peaceful. In the inn near the road, travelers from distant lands slept deeply, surprised by how safe they felt in a place they had just arrived. The innkeeper, who had lived in the kingdom all their life, knew this feeling well. They believed that rest was contagious here, that once you felt it, you carried it with you, even when you left. Imagine that for yourself. Imagine carrying this calm into tomorrow. But do not think about tomorrow too clearly. Just let the idea exist, faint and reassuring, like a light left on in another room. The night grew cooler, and blankets were pulled closer, almost without waking. Bodies adjusted instinctively, seeking comfort. The kingdom knew how to care for itself in small, quiet ways. Above, the stars shifted slowly, tracing familiar paths. Some people believed the stars watched over the kingdom, admiring its devotion to rest. Others believed the stars learned from it, slowing their own endless burning just a little. If your breathing has become very shallow and slow, that is perfectly natural. Your body is settling into one of its favorite states. Muscles let go. Heartbeat steadies. Thoughts blur at the edges. The ancient tree creaked softly, a sound like an old chair welcoming someone home. Its leaves shimmered faintly as moonlight filtered through them. Beneath the tree, the ground was cool and smooth, worn by generations of quiet footsteps. Long ago, before the kingdom had a name, people gathered here at night to listen. They learned the value of pauses. They learned that silence could be kind. Those lessons shaped everything that followed. Now, those same lessons drift through you. You do not have to memorize them. You can simply feel them. The keeper of sunset stirred slightly in their sleep, then relaxed again. Their dreams were simple: a path, a lantern, a sky turning gold. Nothing more was needed. As the deepest part of night passed, there was no announcement, no sudden change, just a gradual sense that the world was holding itself gently, the way you might hold something precious without squeezing. You may notice now that my voice feels farther away or closer, or perhaps both. Let it be whatever it is. You do not need to focus on it. It will continue whether you listen closely or not. The kingdom that slept early rested on, wrapped in darkness that felt like a promise rather than an absence. And you, dear listener, are wrapped in that same promise now. As the night leaned toward its quiet middle, the kingdom that slept early seemed to drift even farther from the sharp edges of waking life. Everything felt rounded now, softened, as if the world had been gently sanded smooth. There were no corners for worry to hide in, no noise for tension to cling to. Somewhere deep in the fields, an animal shifted in its sleep, then settled again. The sound was barely there, more a feeling than a noise. The earth itself seemed to respond, steady and patient, holding all its sleeping creatures without effort. Dear listener, notice how your body feels right now. You may sense warmth spreading, or a pleasant heaviness. Perhaps your hands feel loose, your fingers uncurling naturally. Perhaps your legs feel sunk into the surface beneath you, supported completely. There is nothing you need to adjust. Comfort has already found you. The sky above the kingdom had grown darker, the moon now high and calm. Its light spilled gently through windows, painting pale shapes on walls and floors. Those shapes shifted slowly as the moon moved, never startling, never demanding attention. In one quiet room, curtains stirred just enough to let in a ribbon of cool air. It brushed across a sleeping face, then moved on, continuing its endless journey. The breeze carried no message. It simply passed, like a thought you do not need to follow. Far from the cottages, the road leading out of the kingdom lay empty. No carts, no footsteps. The road rested too, knowing it would be needed again in the morning. For now, It belonged to the moon and the soft shine of dew. Long ago, travelers would sometimes try to push on through the night, believing rest could wait, but the kingdom taught them otherwise. Those who stayed learned that stopping was not failure, it was wisdom. And those lessons lingered, passed quietly from one generation to the next. If you feel yourself slipping in and out of awareness, that is a sign you are doing this just right. You do not need to stay awake for the story. The story knows how to continue without you. At the hill, the ancient tree listened to the slow breathing of the land. Each inhale, each exhale, felt like part of a larger rhythm. Roots deep in the ground pulsed gently, in time with the sleeping hearts above. Some believed the tree counted dreams. Others believed it released them, like seeds, into the night air. Either way, dreams traveled freely here, unjudged and unhurried. You may notice images beginning to blur, scenes drifting into one another. That is fine. Let them overlap. Let them dissolve. There is no need for clarity now. The keeper of sunset turned slightly in their sleep, pulling a blanket closer. Outside their window, the lantern by the door caught a glint of moonlight. Even though it was no longer lit, it stood ready for morning, patient and calm. Time continued its gentle movement, though no one tracked it. The kingdom trusted the slow return of light. Dawn would come when it was ready. There was no need to summon it. In the meantime, rest deepened. Muscles released fully now. Jaws slackened. Foreheads smoothed. Even the smallest tensions, the ones you hardly noticed during the day, began to fade. If there is a place in your body that still feels awake, imagine breathing into it. Imagine warmth flowing there, like sunlight remembered. Then imagine breathing out, letting that place soften and sink. The stars shifted again, barely perceptible. Their quiet watching continued, unchanged. If they had voices, they would speak slowly here, stretching every word until it felt like silence. The kingdom dreamed on, not of grand adventures or distant futures, but of ordinary joys, warm bread, shared smiles, morning light on familiar walls. These were the dreams that nourished kindness, and kindness, in turn, made sleep easy. As my voice continues, you may hear fewer words, or you may hear them without meaning. Either way, you are safe to drift, safe to rest, safe to let go. The kingdom that slept early holds this space for you, just as it has held countless others, night after night, and it will remain here, steady and calm, whether you are awake to hear it or already dreaming. Stay with the stillness, let it carry you. The night continued to unfold like a long, gentle sigh. In the kingdom that slept early, there was a sense that everything had settled exactly where it belonged. Nothing felt out of place, nothing needed correction. The world, for this stretch of time, was complete. Somewhere beneath the soil, roots and stones rested together, pressed close, sharing the coolness of the earth. Tiny creatures curled into safe hollows. Seeds waited patiently, dreaming of warmth and light. They would meet again in their own time. Even waiting felt peaceful here. Dear listener, you may notice that your thoughts are fewer now, or perhaps they come in fragments, half-formed, soft around the edges. Let them be. You do not need to follow them to their conclusions. You can simply notice them, then let them drift away like mist. In the cottages, sleep deepened. Breathing slowed further, almost imperceptible. The rise and fall of chests became so subtle it seemed as though the rooms themselves were breathing. Walls held warmth, floors remembered footsteps. Everything worked quietly together, to support rest. The ancient tree on the hill shifted again, leaves brushing softly against one another. The sound was barely there, a whisper of movement. If you imagine lying beneath it, you might feel sheltered, protected by its wide canopy and steady presence. Once, long ago, a storyteller sat beneath this tree and spoke all through the night, afraid that silence would swallow them. By morning, they understood that silence had been holding them instead. From that day on, stories in the kingdom grew slower, leaving space for pauses, trusting listeners to find their own way inside them. This story does the same. It does not rush, it does not demand, it waits for you, wherever you are drifting. The moon had begun its slow descent now, though it was still bright and calm. Its light softened further, blending with the darkness rather than cutting through it. Shadows blurred until they were barely shadows at all. In one distant home, a kettle that had been set out for morning caught a glimmer of moonlight. It waited quietly, content in its usefulness. In another, a pair of shoes by the door rested side by side, ready for the next day's path. These small details mattered in the kingdom. They were signs of care, of preparation without urgency, of trust in the rhythm of things. If you feel yourself sinking deeper, heavier, that is, your body choosing rest, let it happen. You do not need to help it. Sleep is older than effort. The keeper of sunset dreamed again, this time of standing at the hill as dawn approached. The sky in the dream was pale and promising, but even in the dream there was no rush. Dawn could wait. Night was still doing its work. You may find that my voice feels farther away now, like it is coming from another room or another layer of thought. That is a sign you are drifting exactly where you need to go. The kingdom held steady. No one woke suddenly. No fears stirred. The night remained kind, and kindness, once given, tends to linger. Let yourself linger here too, wrapped in quiet, supported by stillness, gently drifting between listening and dreaming. The kingdom that slept early continues to rest. And you, dear listener, are resting with it. As the hours moved on, unnoticed and uncounted, the kingdom that slept early sank into its deepest rest. This was the kind of sleep that felt ancient, the kind the body remembers, even when the mind forgets. A sleep without effort, a sleep that asks for nothing and gives so much in return. The air itself seemed thicker now, heavier in a comforting way. Sounds traveled more slowly. Even the stream near the village hushed its voice, as though mindful not to disturb anyone. The water still moved, of course, but quietly, sliding over stones with practiced care. Dear listener, if your awareness drifts in and out, that is natural. You may hear fragments of my words, or you may miss whole sections entirely. Nothing important will be lost. The story is not something you need to hold on to. It is something that holds you. Far out beyond the fields, the hills rested under a blanket of shadow. Their outlines were soft against the sky, barely distinct. They had seen countless nights like this one, and would see countless more. There was comfort in their patience, in their unchanging presence. In the village square, benches sat empty, dew forming gently on their wooden slats. By morning, the dew would catch the light, but for now it remained unseen, a quiet detail in the dark. Everything was preparing for the next day without rushing toward it. The ancient tree's roots pressed deeper into the earth, not moving, but settling. If trees could sleep, this is how it would feel. A deep-rooted stillness, a sense of being exactly where one belongs. Somewhere in the kingdom, a dream shifted. A sleeper smiled faintly, then grew still again. Dreams here were not demanding. They passed through like visitors who knew not to overstay their welcome. You may notice your face relaxing further now, your tongue resting easily in your mouth, your breath moving without thought. These are signs of surrender, not weakness. The body is wise. It knows when it is safe. The moon continued its quiet journey, lowering itself toward the horizon. Its light dimmed slightly, blending into the dark. Stars faded one by one, not disappearing, but softening, as if they too were growing sleepy. In the keeper's cottage, the hearth had cooled to faint warmth. The air smelled faintly of wood and ash, comforting and familiar. The keeper slept on, their role fulfilled for the night. Long before sunrise, the kingdom reached a point of complete stillness, a pause so deep it felt almost sacred. In this pause, nothing was expected, nothing was lacking. If there is any part of you still holding on, imagine setting it down now. You do not need to carry it through the night. Let the darkness hold it for you. The kingdom that slept early is very good at holding things, worries, fatigue, unfinished thoughts. It keeps them safe until morning, when they often seem smaller and easier to manage. You may already be there now, in that place where thoughts lose their shape, where time stretches thin, where rest becomes everything. The deepest part of night had now settled fully over the kingdom that slept early. Like a calm ocean, after all, waves have smoothed themselves away. This was the hour when even dreams grew quieter, when the mind loosened its grip and the body rested in pure sensation. Nothing moved unless it needed to. Nothing made a sound unless it had always belonged to the night. The kingdom trusted this silence. It had learned that silence was not empty. It was full of recovery. Dear listener, you may feel as though you are floating now, or sinking, or perhaps both at once. There is no need to decide. There is no need to notice much of anything. My voice can become part of the background, like wind in trees or rain far away. The earth beneath the kingdom was cool and steady. Stones pressed gently into soil. Foundations rested without strain. Everything felt supported, layered, balanced. Even the places that had once been worn thin by worry felt reinforced now. In the homes, sleep had become very deep. Not the kind of sleep that dreams loudly, but the kind that smooths the nervous system, that resets the quiet inner rhythms, the kind of sleep that leaves kindness behind when it passes. The ancient tree on the hill stood perfectly still. Its leaves no longer stirred. If you stood beneath it, you might feel a faint hum, not a sound, but a vibration, like the memory of a lullaby. This was the heartbeat of the kingdom, slow and dependable. Long ago, the people noticed that those who slept well here woke with softer voices, with gentler eyes, with patience that seemed to come from nowhere. That was when they decided never to trade rest in a hurry. Imagine waking that way yourself, but do not picture the morning too clearly. Just sense the ease of it, the absence of tension, the quiet goodwill waiting beneath your thoughts. For now, night still holds everything. The moon hovered low, pale and calm, like a promise kept. Its light brushed rooftops and fields one last time before fading further. Shadows dissolved into one another until there was no clear edge between things. If you are no longer listening in the usual way, that is perfect. The story is meant to fade, to thin out, to become less distinct as sleep takes over. The keeper of sunset stirred once more, then sank deeper. Their breath was slow and even. The world outside did not ask anything of them now. Neither does this moment ask anything of you. The kingdom that slept early remains here, steady and kind, long after my voice grows quiet. You can stay as long as you like. You can drift as far as you wish. Rest now, dear listener. The night held on gently, without tension, without urgency. In the kingdom that slept early, this was the hour that very few ever remembered, yet everyone benefited from. It was the quiet work of restoration, happening far beneath awareness. The air was cool and even. It moved only when needed, sliding softly through narrow streets and open fields, touching skin like a reassurance rather than a signal. The breeze did not carry news or warnings. It carried rest. Dear listener, if your body feels distant now, heavy or light in ways that are hard to describe, let that sensation continue. You do not need to check in with it. Your body knows how to sleep, and it is doing that work for you now. The village lay wrapped in darkness that felt warm instead of cold. Windows reflected nothing. Doors remained closed but welcoming. Every home felt complete, whole, sufficient. There was no sense of lack anywhere. Beneath the ancient tree, the ground seemed to pulse slowly, not with movement, but with presence. It was the feeling of being held by something larger, something patient and enduring, the kind of presence that asks nothing in return. Once, a traveler had described this kingdom as a place where time forgot to hurry. The people smiled at that. They did not think of time as something that could rush or slow. They simply let it pass, like the weather. If thoughts return briefly, do not engage them. Let them pass like clouds crossing a moonlit sky. They do not need your attention to move on. The stars were faint now, barely visible, not gone, just resting behind the veil of approaching dawn. They had done their watching for the night. In the fields, grasses lay still, tipped with dew. The dew clung gently, a temporary weight that would soon disappear. Even the heaviness here was temporary, never something to fear. The keeper of sunset slept through this hour, untouched by worry, untouched by responsibility. The lantern by the door waited patiently, knowing it would be lifted again when the time was right. You may notice now that my voice is little more than a presence. Words may blur or stretch. This is intentional. The story is thinning so that sleep can take its place. The kingdom that slept early does not end its nights abruptly. It lets them dissolve. Let yourself dissolve with it. The darkness slowly began to change its texture, though no one stirred to notice. In the kingdom that slept early, even transitions were gentle. Nothing announced itself. Nothing arrived suddenly. Night loosened its hold with the same kindness it had used to settle in. The air grew slightly softer, slightly warmer, not enough to wake anyone, just enough to signal to the earth that its work was nearly complete. Roots shifted imperceptibly. Stones held their warmth a little longer. The land prepared itself without sound. Dear listener, you may be far from these words now, drifting in that quiet space where thoughts no longer form sentences. If so, let that be. If some part of you is still listening, let it listen loosely, without effort. The ancient tree on the hill remained still, but deep within it, something eased. A long-held breath released. Its leaves did not move, yet the space around it felt lighter, as if the night itself had smiled. In the cottages, sleep remained deep and undisturbed. No alarms rang, no worries intruded. Bodies rested in natural positions, free of tension. Faces were smooth, unguarded. This was the sleep that repaired small, unseen fractures, that restored patience and warmth. The stream resumed a faint murmur, barely audible, not loud enough to wake, only enough to mark continuity. A reminder that life flowed on, steady and reliable, even through the darkest hours. If you sense yourself hovering between sleep and wakefulness, you are exactly where you need to be. There is no need to cross any threshold deliberately. Sleep opens on its own. The moon slipped lower still, its light thinning, until it blended seamlessly into the dark. Stars faded further, their watching complete. Above the kingdom, the sky held everything quietly, without display. The keeper of sunset turned once more, then grew still. Their dreams softened into something wordless, just feeling, just calm. You may feel now as though you are wrapped in something, a blanket, the air, the bed beneath you. Let that wrapping be complete. Let it hold you fully. The kingdom that slept early continues its rest, unchanged, untroubled, kind. It does not ask you to remember it. It only asks that you rest as deeply as it does. The night continued to fold over the kingdom that slept early, each moment layering quietly on the one before. There were no surprises here, no sharp edges to awaken the senses. Just the slow, steady rhythm of a world perfectly at peace. The air was still now, almost imperceptibly, moving only where it was needed, through narrow alleys and across open fields. Every breath carried the faintest traces of flowers, of earth, of warmth lingering from the day. Even the sounds of the kingdom had softened to a delicate hum, one that might exist only in the corners of awareness. Dear listener, feel your own breath now. It matches the rhythm of this night, slow and unhurried. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the quiet expansion of your lungs. There is nothing you must do except continue to rest. The cottages slept deeply. Windows reflected the last vestiges of moonlight, faintly silvery on the floorboards inside. Doors were closed, and yet the houses felt open to the night, held in the soft embrace of peace. Every room, every corner, every shadow was calm. The ancient tree on the hill had long since stopped moving its leaves, yet it seemed alive with memory. Its roots and branches held centuries of sleep. It had listened to countless nights and countless dreams, and in return, it offered its own stability and quiet presence. Nearby, the stream murmured very softly. Each drop of water, sliding over smooth stones, created a rhythm, like gentle breathing, steady, reassuring, and undemanding. If you imagine yourself there, you can feel your own body matching the stream's pace, each exhale releasing tension you didn't even realize you were holding. Somewhere in the village, a lone cat curled into a crescent, tail tucked neatly around itself. Its small chest rose and fell with a soft purr. Even the smallest creatures shared in the peace of this kingdom, and in the quiet, everyone felt cared for. If your awareness drifts, that is perfectly fine. You do not need to stay conscious of these words. You do not need to hold on to the images. Let them dissolve around you like mist. Your body and mind know how to rest on their own. The keeper of sunset dreamed in a slow, deliberate rhythm. They walked through empty streets in their dream, lantern in hand, but there was no hurry, no concern. Each step was easy, each breath is calm. They were part of the kingdom's rest, and the kingdom was part of theirs. Above, the moon continued to slip quietly toward the horizon. Its glow softened to the faintest silver, merging with shadows until the boundary between night and dawn could hardly be seen. The stars had largely disappeared, leaving only a suggestion of sparkling in the vast sky. Everywhere, sleep deepened. Muscles released fully, thoughts slowed to near stillness. Even the smallest pockets of tension eased into the embrace of the night. Dear listener, you are held now, held by your own body, by this quiet place, by the kingdom that slept early. Nothing needs to be done. You do not need to wake. You do not need to move. Just rest. Allow yourself to drift deeper, carried by the rhythm of the kingdom, carried by the gentle pulse of night itself. The night is complete here, full of stillness, full of calm, and you are now part of that calm. Stay there, breathing slowly, resting fully, drifting gently, as the night moved ever so slowly toward the edges of morning. The kingdom that slept early seemed to hold its breath, savoring the quiet that had stretched through hours. There was no rush to change, no urgency to awaken. Every sound, every shadow, every faint stir of air remained soft and measured. The breeze flowed gently through the fields, brushing against the tips of grasses and leaves. It carried with it a faint scent of night-blooming flowers, a fragrance so subtle that it could almost be imagined. If you picture it now, dear listener, you can feel that air brushing across your skin, light and comforting, inviting you to release what remains awake within you. Inside the cottages, the sleepers were heavy with rest. Some lay sprawled comfortably on beds, blankets tucked loosely around them. Others curled, carefully wrapped in quilts that smelled faintly of lavender and warm linen. Every breath, slow and deep, marked the rhythm of perfect safety. The ancient tree on the hill remained still, yet it seemed to hum with life beneath the surface. Its roots pressed deep into the soil, touching stones and hidden streams, connecting everything beneath the kingdom with a quiet, steady heartbeat. If you imagine lying beneath it, you might feel a faint vibration under your body, steady pulse that reassures and encourages deep, untroubled rest. A soft murmur of the stream traveled from the distant edge of the village. It wound over rocks and through reeds, a lullaby without words, a song meant for those willing to listen. Its rhythm was slow, deliberate, and rhythmic, like the breathing of the kingdom itself. Let your mind match that rhythm. Rise with the flow and fall with it, weightless and unhurried. Somewhere, an owl shifted gently on a branch, feathers brushing softly against one another. It did not hoot, it did not stir the night, it merely rested, part of this stillness, a living symbol of watchfulness that needs no interruption. If you notice tension lingering anywhere in your body, imagine it being held by the night itself. Imagine the cool air, the still earth, the comfort of familiar and safe surroundings, easing it away, piece by piece, until every muscle is loose and heavy, and every thought is soft and distant. The keeper of sunset stirred once more, a small sigh escaping in sleep, and returned to calm. In their dreams, lanterns glowed gently, paths wound slowly, and every step felt like it had been taken 1,000 times before, perfect and unhurried. You too can follow such a rhythm, where movement and stillness coexist in harmony. The moon hung low now, nearly touching the horizon, its glow fading to a faint silver mist. The sky remained soft and dark, almost tender in its protective shadow. Stars, too, had mostly faded, leaving only the faintest pinpricks of light in the farthest corners. It was a space designed for uninterrupted rest, a space where nothing demanded attention, nothing demanded effort. As sleep grows deeper, you may notice your body sinking further into comfort. Your breath slows, your heart finds its gentle pace, and your thoughts grow distant, like clouds floating beyond reach. You are part of this kingdom now, held in its gentle, patient rhythm. Remember, dear listener, the kingdom that slept early does not awaken suddenly. Its mornings arrive gently, softly, without alarm or haste. And so, you too may drift without expectation, without pressure, simply held in the soft current of calm and rest. Stay there, in the gentle dark, breathing slowly, sinking deeper, and letting every layer of tension melt away. The kingdom, the night, and the story itself are all holding you, now and always. As the night lingered, stretching toward the earliest hints of dawn, the kingdom that slept early remained completely at peace. There were no sharp sounds, no sudden movements, only the soft, continuous rhythm of a world resting in unison. Even the wind seemed aware of its place, brushing only gently through the fields and along rooftops. The air carried a faint coolness now, soft against skin, like the gentle touch of a feather. Imagine it moving across your arms, your face, your shoulders, carrying away the last remnants of tension. Let yourself surrender to this sensation, trusting that it will guide your body toward even deeper rest. Inside the cottages, the sleepers shifted slightly in their dreams, unnoticed, untroubled. A child's hand reached toward a blanket, curling into it instinctively. An elder turned slightly on their side, sighing softly. Even in the quietest movements, the kingdom held them safely, fully aware of their need for rest. The ancient tree on the hill remained unwavering. Its roots extended deep into the soil, touching streams and hidden stones, while its branches stretched toward the slowly brightening sky. If you imagine lying beneath it, you might feel supported in a way that goes beyond physical comfort. A sense of stability, of timeless patience, settles around you, reminding you that rest is allowed. The stream that flowed near the village continued its soft, steady murmur. Each ripple glimmered faintly in the first hints of light, a delicate rhythm that mirrors the rise and fall of your breath. Let your breath follow that rhythm, gentle, unhurried, steady. There is nowhere to go and nothing to accomplish. You are simply resting. In the distance, an owl shifted its feathers quietly, then closed its eyes again. Even the creatures of the night seem to understand that this is a sacred hour of rest, a time when the world slows down for the sake of restoration. The keeper of sunset remained in their deep, calm sleep. Dreams moved slowly, without narrative or urgency, floating like leaves on a gentle stream. In these dreams, nothing is asked of anyone, nothing must be done. Everything simply exists as it should. The moon now hung low in the sky, its silver glow fading, blending seamlessly into the soft gray of approaching dawn. Stars were nearly gone, their light dimming to a quiet shimmer before disappearing entirely. The sky itself seemed to exhale, preparing to welcome the new day without hurry, without alarm. As your body settles further, you may notice your limbs feeling pleasantly heavy. Your jaw may release, your shoulders relax, and your entire body feels supported, wrapped in warmth and safety. Sleep flows naturally here. There is nothing to chase, nothing to resist. Dear listener, let yourself drift even deeper. Allow the rhythm of the kingdom, the breath of the night, and the gentle pulse of the earth to guide you into a state where consciousness and dreams begin to merge. There is only calm. There is only peace. You are part of the kingdom that slept early now, held in the quiet, the dark, the soft, the unhurried. Rest here as long as you need. Every part of you is safe. Every part of you is held. The night in the kingdom that slept early now hovered in its final, most tender hours. There was a subtle shift in the air, a feeling that the world was preparing for the first light without rushing it. Every sound, every shadow, every movement remained soft, deliberate, and kind. A gentle breeze traveled across the meadows, brushing lightly against flowers and grasses. The petals of night-blooming blooms trembled just a little, releasing a fragrance so faint it was almost imagined, yet calming beyond measure. Dear listener, picture that scent surrounding you, light and reassuring, inviting every last bit of tension to drift away. The cottages remained still. Sleep had become complete. Even those who had been restless earlier now lay utterly at peace. Blankets shifted slightly with the slow rise and fall of breath. Shadows stretched and softened on the walls. Everything in these homes, every object and every sleeper, seemed to exist in perfect harmony with the rhythm of night. The ancient tree on the hill continued to stand sentinel, its presence steady and unwavering. Its roots carried memories of countless nights and countless sleepers. Its branches reached toward the sky, holding space for both darkness and the earliest hints of light. Imagine lying beneath it now, feeling a steady pulse of reassurance and calm move through your body, deep into every muscle and bone. The stream nearby murmured softly, its waters moving with careful attention, like a lullaby played just for those willing to hear. If you imagine yourself by its edge, you may notice your breathing sinking with the gentle ripple of water, slow, effortless, steady. Let it guide you even deeper into rest. A solitary owl, perched high in a distant tree, ruffled its feathers and settled back into perfect stillness. Even the creatures of the night understood the value of this hour. Even their softest movements seemed orchestrated to preserve the kingdom. The keeper of sunset lay completely relaxed, their dreams now so fluid that they barely felt like dreaming at all. Light steps on familiar paths, the soft glow of lanterns. Nothing abrupt or alarming, just an unfolding of quiet moments in perfect sequence. You may allow yourself to drift alongside these gentle dreams, letting them guide you without effort. Above, the moon hung low, its silver glow mingling with the first blush of approaching dawn. Stars had faded to whispers, the sky itself softening as if taking a slow breath. This transition, subtle and gradual, allowed the kingdom and you to remain enveloped in calm while preparing for the gentle arrival of light. Your body may feel even heavier now, pressing into the bed or floor or wherever you rest. Limbs release fully, shoulders sink, jaw softens. Every remaining trace of tension falls away, melting into the night. Sleep flows naturally. There is nothing to chase, nothing to hold. Dear listener, stay here, fully held, fully supported. Let the rhythm of this kingdom, the steady pulse of the earth, and the quiet breathing of the night carry you into a space where the boundaries between consciousness and dream are soft, indistinct, and restful. You are safe. You are calm. You are part of this world, this kingdom of quiet. Rest now as deeply as your body wishes, knowing that you are completely held by the stillness around you. The first whispers of dawn were barely perceptible in the kingdom that slept early. The sky remained dark, yet the darkness had softened, filled now with a gentle anticipation rather than emptiness. It was a space that allowed rest to linger, unhurried, even as the world prepared to awaken. A light breeze moved through the fields, carrying with it the faint aroma of morning dew and damp earth. The scent was subtle and calming, like a reminder that night had done its work and that the day would arrive in its own time. Dear listener, imagine that breeze brushing lightly across your skin, bringing ease and softness to every part of your body. Inside the cottages, sleepers continued in perfect stillness. The rise and fall of chests was slow and steady, a rhythm that could be mirrored in your own breathing. Blankets draped gently over bodies, cocooning warmth and safety. The quiet of these rooms seemed to hum with care, as though the walls themselves knew the importance of preserving this serene pause. The ancient tree on the hill remained a constant presence, a quiet guardian of the kingdom's rest. Its roots pressed deep into the soil, while its branches stretched upward, embracing the subtle light beginning to touch the horizon. Lying beneath it, you might feel the steady pulse of the earth beneath you, a heartbeat slow, enduring, and reassuring. Let yourself sink into that feeling, trusting its strength to carry you into the deepest calm. The stream near the village moved with a soft murmur, tiny ripples glinting faintly in the light that had yet to reach full day. Its rhythm was deliberate and soothing, and if you imagine following it with your mind, your breath can align with its gentle pace. Inhale, exhale, slow and effortless. Each breath draws you further into stillness. Even the creatures of the night continued to rest, from the smallest mouse curled in its nest to the distant owl perched quietly in a tree. Every movement, every pause was measured and calm, preserving the sanctity of this final hour before daybreak. The keeper of sunset remained in serene slumber, their dreams soft and unhurried. Their lanterns glowed gently in imagined streets, guiding unseen footsteps with light that was calm and steady. You may allow your mind to wander gently alongside these dream paths, following them without intention, without effort, simply floating. Above, the moon had almost reached the horizon, its silver glow fading as hints of the sun began to color the sky. The stars had dimmed to the faintest glimmer, their presence still comforting but unobtrusive. The sky seemed to hold its breath, balancing perfectly between night and day, a transition so gentle it felt like a caress. Dear listener, notice your body once again. Limbs are heavy, muscles fully release. Your breathing is slow and steady, matching the rhythm of the world around you. Thoughts, if they appear, are soft, distant, dissolving easily into the gentle stillness that surrounds you. You are completely supported, held by the kingdom, by the night, by the quiet spaces between sounds and shadows. Let yourself drift fully, without thought or effort. Sleep has taken you into its gentle embrace, and you are safe, calm, and at peace. Stay here, enveloped in stillness, carried by the rhythm of the kingdom that slept early, resting completely free. The horizon slowly began to glow, though the kingdom that slept early remained wrapped in its gentle embrace. Light arrived not suddenly, but gradually, as if the world itself was respecting the quiet of those still resting. The first hints of warmth and color in the sky were soft, like a whispered greeting to the day yet to come. A soft breeze wandered through the meadows, barely stirring the grass, yet carrying a subtle freshness that felt comforting rather than startling. Imagine it brushing your cheeks and arms, leaving a trail of calm and ease. Each exhale releases what little tension remains, letting the body sink further into comfort. Inside the cottages, The sleepers stirred only slightly. The movement was minimal, a stretch of the hand or a gentle shift of the body, and then stillness returned. Blankets rose and fell with the slow rhythm of breath, and the rooms seemed to breathe along with the sleepers, as though the kingdom itself shared in this calm. The ancient tree on the hill caught the earliest rays of light. Its branches glowed faintly, a soft outline against the gradually brightening sky. Its roots, deep in the earth, carried the memory of countless nights, steady and patient. If you imagine lying beneath it, you might feel a warmth spreading through your body, calm and nurturing, supporting you in ways that are beyond thought. The stream murmured softly, the sound now slightly brighter as light touched the surface of the water. Its gentle movement remained rhythmic and comforting, a subtle song of continuity. You may imagine your breathing syncing with this rhythm. Inhale with the gentle ripple, exhale with its fatal, allowing the body to relax further, weightless and free. Creatures of the night began their slow retreat as morning approached. An owl shifted its feathers, a small mouse stirred in its nest, and even the leaves seemed to catch a new light in stillness. Everything moved gently, naturally, without urgency, preserving the soft transition between night and day. The keeper of sunset dreamed still, but now the dreams began to hint at the approaching day. Light glimmered on imagined lanterns. Paths seemed more defined, and the world of dreams opened slightly wider. Yet there was no rush. Every step, every scene unfolded slowly, giving the dreamer and the kingdom alike the gift of unhurried transition. The moon lingered faintly in the sky, its silver glow gradually blending with the first pale gold of morning. Stars had nearly disappeared, leaving only traces of shimmering memory. The sky's shift from night to day was gentle, deliberate, and calming, a reminder that the world can move forward without suddenness or strain. Dear listener, notice the deep comfort within your body. Limbs feel heavy, muscles loose, and your breath is calm and steady. Thoughts are soft, distant, and unimportant. You are entirely supported by the world around you, by the rhythm of the kingdom, and by the steady heartbeat of night merging with day. Rest here, fully and completely, letting the kingdom that slept early guide you through this slow, gentle transition. Sleep and dreams are still with you, wrapping you in their calm, protecting you, and allowing your mind and body to awaken slowly when the time is right. Stay here, wrapped in stillness, as the softest light begins to touch the edges of your awareness. The morning light in the kingdom that slept early deepened gradually, painting the sky with soft, warm colors without disturbing the calm below. The glow was tender and forgiving, brushing the rooftops, hills, and meadows with a gentle touch. It did not demand attention. It simply existed, letting the kingdom awaken slowly. A breeze drifted through the trees, carrying the subtle fragrance of fresh earth and dew-kissed flowers. It moved over the village like a quiet caress, and if you imagine it passing over you, dear listener, it can carry the last traces of night's tension away. Each breath you take can match its movements, low, deep, and effortless, allowing every part of you to soften further. Inside the cottages, sleepers shifted slightly, stretching limbs without urgency. Blankets fell gently, bodies moved with the natural rhythm of awakening, and every breath remained calm and steady. The houses themselves seemed alive with the memory of night's rest, each corner and wall supporting the sleepers with quiet, enduring warmth. The ancient tree on the hill now caught more light, its leaves glimmering faintly as they swayed with the soft breeze. Its roots remained firmly planted, carrying the memory of countless nights of stillness and care. Lying beneath it, you might feel a deep, nourishing support, a sense of safety flowing from the earth itself into your body. The stream sparkled faintly, reflecting the earliest sunbeams as its water continued to murmur gently. Its rhythm was steady and slow, perfectly in sync with the gentle rise and fall of your own breath. Let yourself flow with it, each inhalation and exhalation matching the stream's subtle melody. Birds began to stir quietly in the trees, their songs soft and tentative. Each chirp, each flutter of wings was gentle, unhurried, as though the world itself was easing into the day with patience and care. The kingdom moved slowly, deliberately, honoring the deep rest it had shared. The keeper of sunset began to stir more noticeably in their dreams, walking slowly through imagined streets, lanterns glowing faintly, paths clear but calm. Even in these early hints of awakening, the dream remained soft, undemanding, a continuation of the peaceful rhythm rather than a departure from it. Above, the moon faded almost entirely, leaving only a faint silver trace, while the sky brightened to soft shades of pink and gold. The transition from night to day was seamless, deliberate, and nurturing. Everything moved in harmony, guiding sleepers gently toward consciousness without shock or hurry. Dear listener, notice how your body feels now. Limbs remain relaxed, muscles fully released, and your breathing is steady and slow. Thoughts drift lightly, unimportant and fleeting. You are supported completely by the world around you, by the rhythm of this kingdom, and by the steady, gentle pulse of nature. Rest here, dear listener, in this perfect balance of night and day. Allow the calm of the kingdom that slept early to stay with you, even as the world gradually brightens. You are safe, serene, and entirely held. Sleep lingers, flowing with you, guiding you effortlessly toward morning in your own time. Stay here in the softest light, embraced by the kingdom's quiet, letting yourself remain fully at ease. The sky continued to brighten gently over the kingdom that slept early. The soft pinks and golds spread slowly, touching the hills, the rooftops, and the fields without urgency. The world moved at its own unhurried pace, giving every creature and every sleeper the space to awaken gradually, without pressure or alarm. A light breeze drifted across the meadows, brushing against the leaves and grasses. It carried the faint, comforting scent of damp earth and early morning blooms, gentle and reassuring. Imagine it moving over your skin, dear listener, soft and deliberate, carrying away any remaining tension from your body. With each breath, feel your chest and shoulders release, letting the calm sink ever deeper. Inside the cottages, the sleepers began their slow stirring. A hand might shift slightly, a shoulder roll, a stretch of the back, small movements that indicate a body still anchored in the lingering peace of night. Blankets shifted gently, settling back naturally, and the quiet of the rooms hummed with the memory of the deep rest that had taken place. The ancient tree on the hill now glowed faintly in the morning light, its branches stretching upward while its roots held firmly into the earth. Beneath it, there was a deep, steady pulse, as if the heart of the kingdom itself could be felt. Lie beneath it in your imagination, feeling that grounding energy flowing into every part of your body, steadying and comforting you in ways that words can scarcely describe. The stream continued its soft murmur, catching flecks of sunlight on its rippling surface. Its steady rhythm is a reminder of continuity, a natural cadence that your body can follow. Breathe with it now, dear listener, inhaling with the water's movement, exhaling as it fades. Let each breath carry you deeper into calm, fully connected with the gentle rhythm of the kingdom. Birds began their quiet songs, soft and deliberate, a gentle trill here, a faint wing flap there, each sound measured and unobtrusive. Even the stirrings of life in the kingdom were respectful of rest, offering a calm bridge from night into day. The keeper of sunset slowly opened their eyes within their dream, allowing light to touch imagined streets and glowing lanterns. Their movements remained careful, deliberate, and slow, keeping the dream in harmony with the peaceful energy that had carried the kingdom through the night. Above, the moon faded entirely, leaving the sky to fill with soft morning hues. The transition from night to day was gentle, almost imperceptible, yet complete. The kingdom continued to hold itself in a slow, steady rhythm, honoring the night that had passed while embracing the promise of day. Dear listener, feel how deeply your body rests now. Limbs are heavy, muscles fully released, and breathing remains steady and calm. Thoughts drift faintly, dissolving into the quiet spaces within you. You are fully supported by the world around you, by the rhythm of nature, and by the soft pulse of the kingdom that slept early. Remain here, fully embraced, breathing slowly, sinking effortlessly into comfort, carried by the gentle flow of rest and morning light. The kingdom's peace is yours to hold, lingering with you as you rest in complete calm. The morning light in the kingdom that slept early grew warmer and fuller, yet the calm lingered, untouched by haste. Sunlight spread slowly across the rooftops, over the hills, and through the fields, painting everything with a soft, golden hue. The world awakened gently, allowing every creature, every sleeper, and every breath to adjust naturally. A gentle breeze meandered through the meadows, carrying with it the subtle fragrance of fresh earth and blooming flowers. Imagine it brushing your skin, dear listener, soft and comforting, as though the morning itself is tucking you into a lingering cocoon of peace. With each breath, feel your body soften further, sinking more fully into ease and stillness. Inside the cottages, sleepers began their first stretches of the day. A hand shifted lazily beneath a blanket, a shoulder lifted slowly, a foot found comfort as it extended. The quiet of the rooms seemed almost to hum, acknowledging the night's deep rest and easing the transition to day. Every movement remained slow and deliberate, like a soft dance choreographed by calm itself. The ancient tree on the hill glowed softly in the morning light. Its branches stretched toward the sky, leaves shimmering faintly, while its roots remained firmly planted in the earth. Imagine lying beneath it, dear listener, feeling a sense of deep grounding and protection flowing into your body. Let the steady pulse of the earth beneath you calm every part of your being, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. The stream continued its gentle murmur, catching the morning light as it rippled over stones and reeds. Its rhythm is steady and reassuring, echoing the natural cadence of your breathing. Breathe with its slowly inhaling, slowly exhaling, letting the water's calm flow guide you deeper into relaxation and comfort. Birds began to sing quietly in the trees, their melodies soft, deliberate, and respectful of the kingdom's lingering calm. The soft flutter of wings, the gentle chirping, all contributed to a feeling of peace that extended beyond the night into the very beginning of the day. The keeper of sunset stirred slightly in their dream, walking slowly through imagined streets where lanterns glowed softly. Even as day approached, their movements remained deliberate and unhurried, preserving the peaceful rhythm that had carried the kingdom through the night. The moon had completely disappeared now, leaving the sky in gentle shades of gold and pink. The transition from night to day was smooth and deliberate, honoring the lingering calm while welcoming the warmth of morning. Dear listener, notice your body once more. Limbs feel heavy and relaxed, muscles fully released. Your breathing is steady and calm, and thoughts drift lightly, unobtrusive and distant. You are completely supported by the world around you, by the steady rhythm of nature, and by the gentle pulse of the kingdom that slept early. Remain here in the soft, golden light of morning, fully embraced, breathing slowly, letting the peace of the kingdom settle into every corner of your being. Rest in this perfect balance, carried by the unhurried rhythm of a world that honors both night and day. The golden light of morning now stretched across the kingdom that slept early, soft and warm, but never harsh. It flowed slowly over rooftops, fields, and hills, brushing everything in gentle warmth. Even as the day began, the calm lingered, holding the kingdom in a quiet embrace that seemed to whisper, "There is no rush here, only ease." A breeze wandered through the meadows, barely stirring the tall grasses, carrying with it the fresh, comforting scent of earth and dew. Imagine it moving over your skin. Dear listener, a soft and tender presence that calms and reassures. With each inhale, feel yourself absorbing that stillness. With each exhale, release any remaining tension, letting it drift away effortlessly. Inside the cottages, sleepers continued their slow transition toward wakefulness. Some stretched their arms above their heads, yawning softly. Others shifted slightly beneath their blankets, curling or uncurling with natural ease. The rooms themselves seemed alive with quiet support, holding every person in a gentle rhythm of peace. The ancient tree on the hill glimmered faintly in the morning light. Its branches, delicate and strong, swayed gently, and its roots pressed firmly into the earth. If you imagine lying beneath it, you might feel a deep, reassuring stability flowing into you, as though the tree itself is sharing its calm, anchoring you safely in the present moment. The stream flowed steadily, catching the first golden reflections of sunlight as it rippled over smooth stones. Its sound was quiet, measured, and soothing. Let your breath synchronize with its gentle murmuring, hailing with the rise of the water, exhaling as it fades. Let this rhythm carry you deeper into a state of calm, weightless, and safe. Birds sang softly from their perches. Gentle melodies that did not demand attention but added to the kingdom's quiet awakening. Even their movements, the flutter of wings, the tilt of a head, were slow and unhurried, a reflection of the patient rhythm that the kingdom had cultivated through the night. The keeper of sunset stirred slightly in their dreams, stepping carefully through imagined streets where lanterns glimmered faintly. Even as the light of day approached, their dream remained calm and deliberate, a reminder that transitions can be gentle, full of care and ease. The moon had faded completely, leaving only soft golds and pale pinks in the sky. The kingdom shifted with the day, but gently, without disturbing the lingering sense of peace. The world seemed to stretch and yawn, savoring the slow arrival of morning. Dear listener, notice your own body. Limbs remain heavy and relaxed. Your breathing is steady and calm. Thoughts drift like light clouds, distant and unobtrusive. You are fully supported by the gentle rhythm of this kingdom, by the soft pulse of nature and by the quiet stillness that flows through every corner of this world. Stay here, immersed in the soft golden light, wrapped in the lingering calm of night and early morning. Let your mind and body rest fully, carried by the unhurried rhythm of the kingdom that slept early. Safe, serene, and completely at peace. The kingdom that slept early was now bathed fully in the gentle light of morning, yet its calm remained unbroken. Sunlight spilled softly over the hills and meadows, brushing the village rooftops with warmth that felt tender, never jarring. Even as the day began, the kingdom seemed to move at its own slow, deliberate pace, honoring the rest that had preceded it. A light breeze wandered through the fields, carrying the delicate scent of dew and earth. Imagine it moving across your skin, dear listener, a soft and soothing touch that eases the last traces of tension. With each inhale, draw in the serenity around you. With each exhale, release what remains, letting it drift away like mist on the morning air. Inside the cottages, sleepers continued their gentle awakening. A hand stretched slowly above a head, a shoulder rolled lazily, blankets shifted slightly as bodies adjusted, yet every movement remained calm, natural, and unhurried. The rooms themselves seemed to breathe in quiet support, holding the residents in a cocoon of warmth and peace. The ancient tree on the hill glimmered in the soft morning light. Its leaves shimmered faintly, and its roots pressed firmly into the earth. Lying beneath it in your imagination, you might feel a steady, comforting pulse rising through the ground, into your body, and into every cell. This pulse reassures you, reminding you that you are safe, held, and fully supported. The stream flowed steadily, its gentle murmur enhanced by the first golden reflections of sunlight. Its rhythm remained slow and soothing. Let your own breath follow, inhaling with the rise of the water, exhaling with its fade. Feel the calm flow through your body, carrying you deeper into a space of relaxation and peace. Birds began their morning songs, soft, deliberate, and unhurried. Each trill and flutter blended seamlessly into the kingdom's gentle rhythm. Even the smallest movements, the tilt of a head or the brushing of feathers, were measured, respectful, and peaceful, adding to the sense of quiet continuity. The keeper of sunset remained in a dreamlike, gentle awakening, stepping along imagined streets where lanterns glowed faintly. Each step was careful, deliberate, and slow, preserving the tranquility that had carried the kingdom through the night. The dream moved with the same rhythm as the waking world, a gentle bridge between sleep and morning. The moon had faded entirely, leaving only soft golds and pale pinks in the sky. The kingdom moved into morning with grace, embracing the new day slowly and deliberately, honoring the lingering calm that the night had gifted. Dear listener, take a moment to feel your own body once more. Limbs are heavy and relaxed. Muscles have released fully. Breathing remains calm and steady. Thoughts drift lightly, unobtrusive and distant. You are fully supported by the world around you, by the rhythm of the kingdom that slept early, and by the gentle pulse of nature itself. Remain here, immersed in the soft morning light, fully held and completely at peace. Let yourself linger in this state of calm, breathing slowly, feeling weightless, and allowing the kingdom's serene rhythm to guide you. You are safe, serene, and wholly at ease, wrapped in the quiet magic of this gentle kingdom. The morning continued to unfold slowly over the kingdom that slept early, soft and deliberate, as if the world itself were savoring the transition from night to day. The sunlight touched each rooftop, each blade of grass, and each tree branch with a gentle warmth that asked for nothing in return. The kingdom moved with quiet patience, honoring the lingering calm of night. A soft breeze drifted through the meadows, carrying the subtle scents of fresh earth, morning dew, and delicate flowers. Imagine it brushing across your skin, dear listener, tender and reassuring, inviting every remaining bit of tension to dissolve. With each inhale, draw in this serene energy. With each exhale, release fully, letting your body sink deeper into relaxation. Inside the cottages, the villagers began small, slow movements as they prepared to awaken. Hands stretched lightly above heads, shoulders rolled gently, and blankets shifted softly around bodies. Each motion was measured and unhurried, a continuation of the peace that had blanketed the night. The rooms seemed alive with a gentle rhythm, holding and supporting each person in quiet comfort. The ancient tree on the hill basked in the early sunlight, its branches swaying lightly in the morning breeze. Its roots remained steadfast in the earth, carrying a pulse of stability and calm. Imagine lying beneath it now, dear listener, feeling that grounding energy seep into your body. Every part of you feels supported, steady, and safe, as though the tree itself is cradling you in its ancient embrace. The stream murmured steadily, sunlight glinting along its ripples. Its gentle, constant rhythm mirrors the natural cadence of your breathing. Let yourself follow it, inhaling with the rise of the water, exhaling as it flows away. Allow this soothing rhythm to carry you further into a state of deep, effortless relaxation. Birds began their morning songs, soft and gentle, adding delicate notes to the kingdom's quiet awakening. Their movements, the flutter of wings and tilt of heads, were slow and intentional, blending seamlessly with the calm that surrounded the village. Each sound and motion reminded the world to honor patience, stillness, and care. The keeper of sunset, still in dreams, walked slowly along imagined streets lined with softly glowing lanterns. Their movements were deliberate, careful, and slow, preserving the tranquility that had carried the kingdom through the night. The dream was an extension of the world's calm, a gentle bridge connecting sleep to the unfolding day. The sky now glowed fully with soft gold and pale pink, embracing the new day without haste or urgency. Even as morning grew, the kingdom that slept early maintained its unhurried rhythm, honoring the lingering peace of the night. Dear listener, once more feel your body in this gentle light. Limbs are heavy and relaxed, muscles fully released. Your breathing remains calm and steady, thoughts drifting lightly, unobtrusive and distant. You are fully supported by the world, by the rhythm of the kingdom that slept early, and by the gentle, steady pulse of nature surrounding you. Stay here, fully immersed in the soft morning light, wrapped in calm and completely at ease. Let yourself remain in this serene state, breathing slowly, weightless and safe, carried by the unhurried, peaceful rhythm of the kingdom. The morning in the kingdom that slept early deepened gradually, gentle and deliberate, allowing the world to unfold at its own perfect pace. Sunlight now washed over every hill, meadow, and rooftop with a warmth that felt nurturing, never intrusive. The kingdom moved in quiet harmony, honoring both the night that had passed and the slow, steady promise of the day ahead. A soft breeze wandered lazily through the meadows, carrying with it the scent of dew-kissed flowers and fresh earth. Imagine it brushing across your skin, dear listener, tender and unhurried, soothing every part of your body. With each inhale, draw in the serenity surrounding you. With each exhale, let go of any remaining tension, sinking even deeper into calm. Inside the cottages, the villagers stirred gently, hands stretched above heads, shoulders rolled, and blankets shifted with the natural flow of awakening. Every movement was slow, deliberate, and peaceful, a continuation of the night's rest rather than a sudden push into activity. The rooms themselves seemed to breathe with their occupants, carrying the quiet rhythm of the kingdom. The ancient tree on the hill glimmered faintly in the soft morning light. Its branches swayed slightly in the breeze, and its roots pressed deep into the earth. Imagine lying beneath it, dear listener, feeling a grounding energy flow through you. Every part of your body feels supported and secure, as though the tree itself cradles you, holding you steady and calm. The stream flowed steadily, reflecting golden sunlight on its rippling surface. Its gentle murmur harmonized with your breathing. Inhale as the water rises, exhale as it flows away. Let this rhythm guide your body and mind further into relaxation. Weightless and serene, fully connected to the kingdom's calm. Birds began their morning melodies, soft and deliberate. Each trill, flutter, and tilt of a head blended seamlessly with the quiet awakening of the village. Their gentle songs served as a reminder that the world could move with care, grace, and patience, without rushing or urgency. The keeper of sunset remained in their dream, walking slowly through imagined streets lined with softly glowing lanterns. Their dream unfolded gently, deliberate and serene, preserving the calm that had carried the kingdom through the night. It was a bridge between sleep and day, steady and reassuring. The sky now glowed fully in soft gold and pale pink, welcoming the day with quiet grace. The kingdom that slept early embraced the light while maintaining its peaceful rhythm, honoring the lingering calm that the night had gifted. Dear listener, notice your body once more. Limbs are heavy, relaxed, and fully supported. Muscles release fully, and your breath flows effortlessly. Thoughts drift lightly, unobtrusive, and distant. You are fully held by the world around you, by the rhythm of the kingdom that slept early, and by the gentle pulse of nature itself. Stay here, immersed in soft morning light, completely at ease. Let the serenity of the kingdom settle into every part of your being. Breathe slowly, weightless and safe, fully embraced by the quiet, nurturing rhythm of this gentle kingdom. The morning in the kingdom that slept early continued to stretch slowly and deliberately, each ray of sunlight painting the hills, meadows, and rooftops with warmth that felt soft and nurturing. The world moved in perfect unison, a rhythm of calm and care that allowed every living thing and every listener like you to remain enveloped in quiet peace. A gentle breeze wandered through the meadows, carrying with it the subtle scent of dew and fresh earth. Imagine it brushing across your skin, dear listener, soft and soothing, as if the morning itself is tenderly guiding you deeper into relaxation. With each inhale, draw in this calm. With each exhale, release fully, letting go of every remaining tension in your body. Inside the cottages, villagers stirred in the gentlest of motions. Hands stretched above heads, shoulders rolled slowly, and blankets shifted as bodies found comfort. Even these small movements were deliberate, mindful, and unhurried, a continuation of the night's deep rest. The rooms themselves seemed to hum softly with peace, a quiet presence supporting every person. The ancient tree on the hill glimmered in the soft light. Its leaves shimmered faintly, swaying lightly in the breeze, while its roots pressed firmly into the earth. Imagine lying beneath it, dear listener, feeling that grounding energy rise through you. Every part of your body is held, supported, and safe, as though the tree itself were cradling you in its ancient calm. The stream rippled gently, catching the golden reflections of sunlight. Its rhythm was steady, soothing, and harmonious. Let your breath match its gentle flow, inhaling as the water rises, exhaling as it glides away. Allow this calm rhythm to carry you deeper into relaxation, a space of stillness and weightless ease. Birds began their soft songs, each trill and flutter deliberate and slow. Their gentle movements and quiet melodies blended seamlessly with the kingdom's calm awakening. Each sound reminded the world and youth that life can move with patience and grace, without hurry or strain. The keeper of sunset stirred slowly in their dream, walking along imagined streets lined with lanterns that glowed softly. Each movement remained careful, deliberate, and serene. Their dream bridged night and day in gentle rhythm, preserving the tranquility of the kingdom while gradually welcoming the light of morning. The moon had disappeared completely, leaving the sky painted in soft gold and pale pink. The kingdom welcomed the day without rush, embracing the light with quiet patience, honoring the stillness that lingered from the night. Dear listener, notice your body once again. Limbs feel heavy, muscles soft and fully relaxed. Breathing is slow, calm, and steady. Thoughts drift lightly, unobtrusive and distant. You are fully supported by the rhythm of the kingdom that slept early, by the pulse of nature, and by the gentle flow of the world around you. Remain here, wrapped in the soft morning light, completely at ease. Let the calm of the kingdom settle into every part of your being. Breathe slowly, fully, and effortlessly, carried by the quiet, nurturing rhythm of this serene and gentle world. The kingdom that slept early had fully awakened, yet its calm remained, unbroken and complete. Sunlight spread warmly across every hill, meadow, and rooftop, touching the village with golden tenderness. The air was filled with the soft scents of morning dew, fresh earth, and the faint sweetness of blooming flowers. The world moved with deliberate patience, inviting everyone, villagers and listeners alike, to linger in the serenity of the moment. A gentle breeze drifted lazily through the fields, brushing softly across your skin. Dear listener, feel it as a final reminder of the kingdom's embrace, tender and reassuring. With every inhale, draw in the peace and calm surrounding you. With every exhale, release fully, letting go of all tension, allowing your body and mind to sink even deeper into rest. Inside the cottages, the villagers moved slowly, deliberately, in harmony with the rhythm of the day. Hands stretched, shoulders rolled, and blankets shifted gently. Even as they awakened, their motions were calm, thoughtful, and unhurried. The rooms themselves seemed to hum softly, carrying a quiet presence that nurtured and protected every soul within them. The ancient tree on the hill glimmered in the full morning light, its roots held firmly in the earth, its branches swaying gently in the breeze. Imagine lying beneath it one last time, dear listener, feeling the grounding energy flow into every part of your body. You are held, safe, and supported, completely embraced by the steady pulse of this timeless kingdom. The stream rippled quietly, catching the soft reflections of morning sunlight. Its gentle murmur is a final lullaby, a steady rhythm that aligns perfectly with your breathing. Inhale with the water's rise, exhale as it flows away. Let this soothing cadence guide you into the deepest sense of relaxation, calm, and serenity. Birds sang softly in the trees, their melodies deliberate, slow, and unhurried. Each trill, each flutter, each soft movement was a gentle reminder that life can unfold with grace, patience, and quiet beauty. The keeper of sunset, now fully awake within their dream, moved gently through streets lit by faint, lingering lanterns. Their steps were soft, deliberate, and calm, preserving the tranquility of night while welcoming the warmth of the new day. Their presence was a reminder that rest and awakening can exist together, peacefully, harmoniously. The sky now glowed fully in soft gold and pale pink, embracing the day with quiet grace. The kingdom that slept early had welcomed morning without rush or demand, honoring the lingering calm that had carried it through the night. Dear listener, notice your body one last time. Limbs are heavy and fully relaxed. Muscles are soft, your breathing calm and steady. Thoughts drift lightly, unobtrusive and distant. You are completely supported by the rhythm of this kingdom, by the pulse of nature, and by the gentle flow of life around you. Remain here, fully embraced in soft morning light, entirely at peace. Let the calm of the kingdom that slept early linger within you, a quiet sanctuary you can carry into your day or your dreams. You are safe, serene, and held completely. Now, slowly, if your eyes are still open, allow them to close. Sink fully into comfort. Breathe deeply and gently one last time. And as you rest here, carried by the gentle, unhurried rhythm of the kingdom, know that you are part of this quiet, beautiful world, at ease.com and wholly at peace. Sleep well, dear listener.